Who has ever had a wet nightmare, if that's even possible? What was it that made it a nightmare? I was a teen girl at the time. Maybe 13 years ago? I was having intercourse with a female. I'm straight. And get this. I was the one with a penis. But my penis didn't thrust in and out of her. It just kinda stretched when I'd move my hips backward. Like stretched comically thin and long. I woke up with that vague feeling that I may have actually been moaning in my sleep. Oh. And I was sleeping next to my mother that night. A 50-year-old rich woman molested me in a train to Jurassic Park. It was trauma for the whole day. So when I was younger lad just hitting puberty, I was staying at my Gma's house on some school break. It was a very creepy old house and I always thought it was haunted. I still vividly remember getting woken up by getting a BJ by some ghostly lady in a white wedding dress. Pretty sure it was sleep paralysis wet dream. I don't want to experience that ever again. I had a nightmare I was being raped by this giant woman on a subway and I thought she was going to kill me. When I was 11, I dreamt that a lizard man attacked me. Like in trying to kill me. Then I remembered that lizards, of the dinosaur kind, do not have penises, but a hole. So I raped him in self-defense. He was quite surprised and horrified. Me too when I woke up. Started getting a blowy from a woman on a motorcycle, but as I watched, said lady turned into a demonic George Bush who was not on a motorcycle, but actually part motorcycle from the waist down. Even so, I jizzed inside that unholy presidential motorcentaur. Had a dream once that I was cheating on my GF and then got caught. Proceeded to be publicly humiliated and shamed by her and the rest of my family because of my unfaithfulness. Weirdest part was that I don't have a GF in real life. Once before waking up, when I was slightly aware of my surroundings but unable to move, I dreamt that I was a girl and was being raped by someone I couldn't see, while still knowing I was in my room and unable to move. I'm a guy. Managed to fully wake myself up eventually. It was actually one of the worst dreams I remember. I had a dream where I was turned into a girl and put in a farm for milking. Except the milk was honey. The nightmare part of it is mostly the farm bit. I do not enjoy the idea of doing nothing but stand in place for the rest of my life. I know a lot of people have that fetish. I've seen plenty of art. But I am not one of them. Note. I am a completely cis, het male. Have you never had an ex that you hate? Having forced dream, makeup, sex is among the worst things. You're turned on but at the same time you emotionally hate every second of it. You wake up all sweaty, with bad thoughts and you're horny. It's a bad combo. Not a nightmare, but I did have a sex dream about Jerry Seinfeld. Yes. Didn't know women could have wet dreams until I had one. It started as a dream but ended up as sleep paralysis where I was raped by a demon and actually came. Very strange thing to wake up to. Not very nice. It was 3 days ago. It was Kim Kardashian, but she had a penis. Started off really hot, but then a gorilla came in and ripped Kim's face off. And she just kept going. She was on top fucking me. I was looking at all the muscles and veins in her face and her blood was dripping on my face. I actually had a dream last night that my wife pulled me into our bedroom to have sex. She got naked and laid on the bed and dreamed me as like. Yes. But then, wife in dream just started shitting. Still trying to get me to join in sexy time. And dream me is like trying to be nice and subtly mention maybe she needs to go to the bathroom. Like she doesn't realize she's peeing out of her butt all over the bed. Then I woke up in a poop-free bed. So that was nice. I had a nightmare while pregnant. I gave birth to my wiener dog while shopping at Von Mauer and he came out of my belly button. I was so scared I pissed myself awake. Does that count? I've never had a wet dream or wet nightmare because my subconscious has never allowed me to do the deed. It puts me in a scenario but then puts barriers up that always stop me. Not sure if that's normal or not. I had a dream where this man had a remote he was gonna use to blow the world up. I was working with him. But I hid the remote and he started to torture the information out of me, but it just turned into fucking. He was attractive though, so it wasn't overly terrible. But I did wake up and think lowly of myself. 10 out of 10 would dream again. Especially if I didn't wake up during the sex this time around. I remember having one when I was in middle school. Crap was terrifying. Basically, I dreamt that I was Harambe brutally having sex with Marge Simpson. I don't know why those two characters came to mind. But oh boy was that horrible to experience. I had a wet nightmare about Richard Ramirez hunting me down then fucking me. Ew, kinda liked it though it was hot. It was with an orc. I had read some erotic lit centered around orcs earlier in the day. And it showed up in my nightmare. It was kind of a fine balance between getting smashed and smashed to death in the nightmare. If you know what I mean. I haven't had a wet nightmare. But, yes, feargasms are real and I've had one. I don't think I've ever had a dream that felt worse than sleep paralysis. I could accurately hear my house getting broken into and somebody bursting through my bedroom door. While I could not move an inch. When I eventually woke up, I immediately checked all the locks. Several years ago, after watching way too much Walking Dead and playing Left 4 Dead, I had a dream that I had sex with a zombie lady. It wasn't the dream that creeped me out. It was the fact that I had it. I was terrified I'd become a necrophiliac or something. Had a nightmare where I was fucking a monkey. Woke up screaming as I came. It still fills me with horror to this day. I had one when I was about 12. I was on the edge of the puberty and couldn't yet understand all the feelings inside me. I remember that in the dream I was running from some kind of monster in a labyrinth. That was the nightmare part. Which is kind of usual for me. But in this dream, for some reason, at one point I could face the monster and I could also transform into one. This transformation came with a feeling of catharsis and satisfaction. Meaning that I also came. I woke up very confused. Zombies. I don't have a zombie fetish, but I always find the ghouls in Fallout kinda hot. I used to get the same nightmare like one night a week from the age of 14 until 20. It would start off as a wet dream. Just standard teen stuff, but it would always end in cannibalism. I got used to the graphic images in these dreams until one time I had a dream about an orgy. It was like a scene of a horror movie. Like 10 to 15 people just tearing flesh off of each other. I think that one scarred me for life. Bekasu. Since then I always get anxious or aggressive after sex. Not me but my friend. He had a dream where he was getting a blowjob from Kirby. And Kirby bit his dick off. I had a dream I was doing it with someone, then after a while I saw his face and it was a pig who harassed me when I was a child. Now I'm kinda numb when I get wet dreams. Had sex with a two-dimensional person and the scary part was it felt two-dimensional and disturbed me the whole time I was finishing. It was nice humping and kissing with a sexy woman, but when moved downward to suck breasts and there were 3 bouncy jugs, suddenly realized I'm in a dream, tried to wake up and woke up standing in front of a mirror, and when I tried to look at myself in mirror she suddenly appeared behind me this time. with ugly face, so I was double dreaming, but this second one terrified me and finally woke up to reality. As a teen I had a dream where I had sex with a praying mantis with tits. I didn't wake up wet, but proceeded to masturbate to the idea anyways. Having sex with a giant bug counts as a nightmare, even if you spank it later, right? Around the same time I also remember dreaming Lisa Bonet was my sister. In my dream we didn't care. And had sex. Still didn't wake up wet. Same deal. Spanked it to her when I woke up. I had a dream that I was having sex with Debbie Ryan, but then the walls collapsed and there was a whole camera crew recording without dream me knowing. I had to check my dream journal. But yes, I had one. Basically a slimy sentient mass of black flesh with many eyes, about the size of a basketball, was sucking me off, moaning about how I taste good. I can't believe I've lived this long and haven't even considered a wet nightmare until right now. My first sex dream started with 3 beautiful women crawling Asian horror like out of the TV in my room. Still spent many years thinking I was straight and neurotypical. I was being sexually assaulted. But I pulled a knife on him, so the dream ended up okay cause he got arrested. Pretty concerning that I had a vivid nightmare about being sexually assaulted though. Getting raped in your dreams is not nice. Especially while getting torn to shreds and having your limbs crushed by some dark shadowy entity that is very keen on killing you the most gruesome way possible. And painful. Though most of my wet nightmares leave me sore for days after. And even occasionally with pressure scars along my body. Even scratches. Sometimes even waking up to a nosebleed. Was crossing the river Styx once, got done by Styx, supposedly? 0/10. Would not do again. I had a nightmare in which I got pegged. I'm not gonna go into details, but yeah, that's what went down. I had a dream I got raped by a man with a snake for a penis. I had one where Pee-Pee Longstocking was trying to drown me in my local YMCA pool where I was a regular as a kid. She never needed to come up for air. Moved like some kind of shark. I would kick her in the face hard. Try to climb up and out and just get yanked back down again and again. Someone close to me had a sex dream about Donald Trump. She detests him. And boy did that unsettle her. It was with a pedophile my parents used to be friends with. You can probably guess how I found out that's what he is. I'm terrified of spiders. Had a dream that this creature with the top half of a woman and the bottom half was spider. Had the biggest sink I've ever seen, so I couldn't resist. It was with a female family member. We were having sex. I was no longer a female. You get the picture. To date, the worst nightmare I can recall. And I've had nightmares about my husband getting tortured for knowing me. I almost never have a nice wet dream. My brain always makes it fucking weird. Freud would have had a field day with me. Glad I'm not the only one here. Here are the 2 that were so weird that I still remember them. Fucking a bruised and battered torso? No limbs or head. Just covered in purple and blue bruises. Watching some of the 2 ugliest people fuck in a dingy concrete basement? Check. I was having a dream where a big red demon and I were getting it. He was so scary looking, red, muscular, horns and all, but damn, he felt so good. I still remember. It was my psycho ex-wife with a Sandra Bullock mask on.